we created this workforce housing innovation, which is basically pairing moderate income, multi-generational family housing with private capital. So that's the idea of UTH. And we needed to give it a name because you talk about it all day, every day. And so I came up with the idea of calling it urban townhouse, or UTH. And it's basically a model that we're introducing into various markets, predominantly in Southern California, to provide housing for working families. These are blue-collar families, usually large families, that are looking for housing that's like unusual in the marketplace. In the context, if you're a family of 6 or 8 or 10, you don't have many choices for a unit that can house your entire family in one space. You do have houses, but this is a purpose-built rental model that is also naturally occurring on a moderate income, affordable housing basis. A few things that investors in our discussions with them are very encouraged by is, one, we're delivering new units into deeply undersupplied neighborhoods. Most of these neighborhoods that we built in haven't seen new housing in sometimes 10, 20, 30 years. We're able to deliver these middle income rents that fit in these income categories without subsidy. So we're just using standard debt and private capital. This is a social impact investment. Right, we are providing housing for middle-income families that are being dropped ever lower on the food chain in housing, while also producing yield to private capital. The way we produce returns, really, the model is it needs to be very, very simple. So we need to buy land that's in markets where the land is cost-effective. We need to build cost-effectively, keep prices of construction down. And then really the key driver of the profitability is the rents that we're charging for these 5-bedroom units on average are about $3,000 a month. And when we put that combination of simplicity of build, the size of the unit, and the rent at $3,000 a month, that mix of ingredients produces a very healthy return. It also helps that the projects tend to be mid-size, so we're not building 100 units of UTH in a particular project, and so the timelines are compacted. So we may do a 30-unit project and invest, build, rent, and sell within a 2-year period. And so that also helps drive the returns. Generally, our look at the marketplace, and particularly in the workforce housing moderate income space, is that it's so undersupplied that we don't ever see it, at least in my lifetime, catching up, satisfying the demand for those families that are in these income categories. And when you overlay that with continuing to rise rents versus stagnant incomes, there's even more pressure on this space. So what I'm particularly enthusiastic about is just the social impact of delivering housing to these families that need it, at the time that they need it and the locations geographically they need it, and then pairing that up with private capital is, to me, the greatest innovation of this UTH model, is that we're able to produce returns to just normal equity investors, but apply it to this social impact UTH moderate income model.